Hello, it's me Sydney from Edrienia Extrasensory Elevation, back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about self-love and the importance of self-love in our lives. But before that, I would like to welcome you all to the channel. Welcome to my subscribers, and a special thank you to the new subscribers to the channel. I wanted to know that I'm so thankful for you for subscribing to the channel, and I really appreciated that. Self-love is not something new, and this is especially to those countries who are more individualistic. But from the context, I'm coming from Tonga, the Kingdom of Tonga in the South Pacific. It's a country that pretty much, based on community and sharing. My vision of self-love, which is pretty much based on my personal journey and experiences, and the knowledge and wisdom I have accumulated over the years. And that is exactly the vision that I'm going to share in this video. But before that, I would like to provide some background, because my arrival at self-love and how I came to realize and value it in my life was not something that I born with it, or something that I knew earlier in my life. It was something that I arrived upon during my life journey. And I would like just to give you some background about myself and my journey, so that you can have a good understanding of where I'm coming from with self-love. So I was growing up in Tonga. I was growing up in a good family. My father was a very instrumental person within the Tongan government, especially in his finance and he held some key roles in the government and also in the private sector. There was some years he was a parliamentarian, and that's my father. My mother, she was fully devoted to the home, in nurturing us and looking after us, the children, and that's the role that she was fully committed, pretty much her whole life, as a full-time mother. And I was growing up in that environment. If you don't know about Tonga, Tonga is a very strong Christian country. About 98% of its population call themselves Christians. It's a different matter whether they truly live up to the name Christians, but that's another. But Tonga is a very strong Christian country. On the other hand, Tonga is still pretty much strong, though it has evolved with the year, becoming more democratic. Although Tonga still maintains its kingdomship, but it's becoming, evolving to become more democratic, and yet still pretty much strong in sustaining its culture, traditions, heritage, and all those things. And you can now get a sense that I was growing up in that environment, strong community-based, strong Christian. So you can have a good sense now that being selfless, about service and about pleasing others, always care more about others than yourself. That is the kind of environment I was growing up with in Tonga. And yeah, I really appreciate and respect that kind of environment that I was growing up. It has shaped my life in many ways, and it has also benefited my life. Yeah, I don't have enough words to show how thankful I am that I was growing up in that environment, shaping my life to be a selfless person, to be a giving person, to be a person that loves to please people, and all those things. And there was a time for that. And but over the years, as I, starting out was growing in life, adding more responsibilities, I was really struggling with that. Really struggling with that. And there were years, especially when I was in church ministries, where they teach you it's all about loving others, it's about giving and being selfless, and where they teach you that selfish is not a good thing, blah blah blah. So I was really struggling, and up to a time I was in a very low, dark place in my life. I was really struggling, fulfilling obligations to others and maintaining that identity and that image of myself. A person that loves to give, loves to help others. And adding up to a point, I was, I was really struggling. And for those of you who have been following my channel and you have been watching my videos, I did, I did post, I think a couple of videos or more than that, that mentioned my struggle for some years in regards to depression, societal faults, and which also have led to my spiritual awakening. But during those years, I was in a dark place at that time, and up to a point, I keep going downhill, and I reached my lowest. And when I hit that, and it was a very sad moment, when I was in that time. I realized when I arrived at that point in my life, I look around. There was no one there. There was not one person I have helped throughout the years, whether it's my family, my friends, or co-workers, or people that I know. Not one person was with me in that place. And it was only me and God, my Creator, was in that place. And then I realized I had been fooled all this year. I have been taught all this year to give up everything but myself. I've been taught all this year, and I've been living a life, to be selfish and all of that. Yeah, and when I was in that place, I realized, when you are in that point, the lowest point in your life, there's no one there but yourself. And you keep asking, where are all these people? The people that I helped all this year, that I have been doing all these selfless activities, and I've been giving up a lot of myself. And now I'm in a pretty dark space, and not one person is there. So that was the point of departure, or the starting point of a new change in my life. And journeying from that lowest up to a time, I realized how important to have self-love. That we love ourselves. That we love ourselves first. That what I have learned throughout the years. That I have to love myself first. You can only be selfless if you first being selfish. Because we have been taught that all of this, that selfish is not a good thing. No, I've been through that. Selfish is good. It's just a matter of you, anybody taking selfish to the extreme, then it becomes a problem. But this is what I learned. I have to be self-love first before I can love or give to anybody else. Because when I was in that low point in my life, I was empty. I have nothing left to give, because I have been giving a lot of my life. And for those of you, I don't know if any one of you who watching this video who have been through that experience, but when you are in that point, you have nothing left to give, because you have been given too much of yourself. And like I said, coming up from that lowest point, and then I started to learn more about self-love, and it's important in my life. And I started to build up this new person. I still maintain some of my old person, but I'm evolving and becoming a new person, a person that I really love myself, that I put myself first and my needs and all those things. I really value my self-care, and one example is continue to do my daily walking in nature, spend time in nature and meditation, and yeah, it's a good thing that we have that. When we love ourselves first and treat ourselves well, we are more resourced, we are more equipped to be able to help somebody else. But like I said, when we are in that dark place with emptiness, you can't help anything. And this is one of the realizations I realized during that time of rebuilding myself up. I realized that I can only give what I have. I can only help another person with what I have. If I don't have much to offer, there's no point of helping anybody else because you can't help it. Not only that, but I realized if we lose ourselves and our sanity, then nothing else in life is, what's the use of having anything else in life if you are broken? Anything else and everything else in life means nothing. And they are no longer of use to any of us if we are broken, if we are in that dark place. That's one of the great realizations that God revealed me on that day. If you don't really take care of yourself and you love yourself first and really look after yourself, make sure you are well spiritually, physically, mentally, then the other opportunities and the abundance of life means nothing. It can only be of use for you and I if we are well. So when I wake up from that lowest point, as I've mentioned, I start rebuilding myself, and I started to learn more about self-love and how to make that change in my life. And I have to be honest with you, it was very difficult for me to make that change because I have got used to being a selfless person, being a self-giving person. It's about pleasing others. But I know deep in my heart, this is not a matter of choice. I must change if I want to continue to live. If I want to continue to survive, to continue on living, and to continue to look after my families and continue to be more helpful and more useful to other people or my community or whatever, then I have to make that change. And that is how I started my change, towards self-love. Without self-love, I wouldn't be here today, arriving at that realization and how important it is to love ourselves first. But like I said, coming from a culture where community is highly valued and prioritized over, our individuality, and also a Christian nation, I also working in church ministry. It's very hard for me to make that change without maintaining that old image of myself and how people will see me and how they will perceive me, through these changes. And there were some negative consequences in my relationship with others, like my friends, my families at large, people I used to work with in church. It has its impact. And when I look back from where I am now, I'm thankful that I make the decision. Not only making the decision, but I was implementing the change. I was evolving to this new person that I am today. Because what's the point of risking your own life? There are some points in our life, in some situations where we will have to offer ourselves if we have to. But the point I'm trying to say, there's no point of elevating others when you are drowning. It should be both. You're going up and they're going up. rather than them going up and drowning and die. There's no point in doing that. Like I said, going through the journey of creating this new person and this new me, I did a lot of decluttering. Some I do it intentionally, while others they were just going through a natural process. For example, I was starting to losing some of my families and friends. They were we're no longer connected. They're just losing out one by one. And but that was the process. Some of the people that I used to work with in churches, they were slowly. We were no longer connected or communicated at all. But that's the process of working myself towards self-love. I also, started to, cut down and reduce some of the things that I was involved in, other responsibilities, the different groups I was part of their work. I'm starting to trim down a lot of those things in order for me to really focus on building myself. And as I look back, I'm really, really happy, and I'm so thankful that I did that. Not to anybody else, but I did it to myself. Because who's the most important person in the world? Yourself and myself. First, before anybody else. Hey, but look, I'm not saying this that we are consider, others and their well-being and trouble. No, I'm not saying that. Please, don't get this message wrong, please. The point I'm trying to say here, it has to be ourselves first. It has to be yourself first. And helping up yourself, building yourself up, and then you resource yourself, do the things that make you healthy and well, and then you can be able to offer more value, help to other people. Because, for example, if what you have is only peanuts, that is only what you're gonna offer another person. You just offer them peanuts. So I'm not saying that there are some situations where we don't have a lot, but you still gonna have. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. But the point is, you will be more helpful and more useful and more valuable if you help yourself first. Preparing yourself first, and that is what I did through the process of rebuilding myself. I began to more prioritizing, looking after myself. I prioritize my work. I prioritize what is more important, most important to me. And I slowly, over time, I started to reduce other things that and there are things that I used to participate in and involve in, I no longer do anymore. I wanted to really, reserve my energy and really devoted my time and my commitment to just a number of things. While I'll be able to do that successfully and do that really well, at the same time, I'm also, taking care of myself. Because, you can't take the cart first before the horse. That's what they used to say. When the horse is well fed, and well resourced, then the horse can carry the cart. And that is a good example for me, just to emphasize the message that I wanted to get across. When we are self-love and really take care of ourselves, then we become people of value. We have value. We have good resources. We are well equipped to offer and help other people. Yeah, that should be enough for this video. But this topic on self-love, probably I will have maybe a couple or quite a number of videos just to share with you all the things I wanted to say about self-love. But for the sake of this video, I think that's enough just to end this video. But I will talk about later on. I will talk about what are the problems of not having self-love, and I will elaborate on that. And also, I will later on that I will also share, ways and some practices you can do on a daily basis, and you can spread that through, a time frame, and it can help you develop self-love. So with that, my friends, it's me, Senny, from Edrienia Extrasensory Elevation. I'm signing off, but I will see you in my next video.